Hey guys, it's Emma Vigling with TYT Politics. I'm back as always, back in black, actually back in gray today. Major Donald Trump campaign shakeup. Is it ever not being shooken up? He's losing campaign staffers left and right, not just losing them, but firing them. There's been no stability with his campaign, and the mainstream media loves to focus on the chaos of it, and the infighting, and the drama, and the reality show, which is indicative of this entire campaign, and also very fitting because Donald Trump himself is a reality star. And I know that you guys love talking about the Clinton corruption, and those are big stories, and I love talking about those because that's not what the mainstream media is covering either. But these stories are important as well because Donald Trump is a menace and is terrifying and is a danger to the republic, a danger to our democracy. So he's added a lot of media figures to his campaign, most notably Roger Ailes. Roger Ailes is the recent ousted head of Fox News, who is just maybe the most despicable guy in America. Basically was assaulting or sexually assaulting even and sexually harassing at the very least all of these women that were trying to move up, all of these conservative women that were trying to move up. He's definitely one of the worst guys in America. What a lot of people don't know is that he's basically the founder of modern conservatism as it is. He advised Nixon on his campaign, he advised Reagan, he advised Bush Sr., and then he created this propaganda outlet called Fox News and said it was news. And he's the founder, really, of the mainstream media is biased against conservatives approach. When you hear the mainstream liberal media bias, that's all from Roger Ailes' sick little fucking head. He came up with that. He allowed a whole section of the population to constantly mistrust the media and mistrust information that was being given to them, and then do it under the guise of a mainstream media bias, which is always infuriating. You know, if I'll talk to a conservative person, they'll show me a New York Times article, which yes, the New York Times has its issues, but just like a reporting of any going on in the world, and they will hedge it with saying, well, it's the mainstream liberal media bias. If there's any bias, it's the corporate bias on where they basically just want to show you entertainment, news entertainment, and not what is actually going on. The idea that we have a liberal media bias in this country is all manufactured from the sick head of Roger Ailes. So it's a myth. And now he's advising Donald Trump, and he is the very person that gave rise to someone like Donald Trump, someone who's just emotion, no facts, no substance. And when you have reporters who are at this point trying to do some of their job, which they didn't do at all in the primaries, and challenge him on specific facts, then he basically says, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true." Just shrugs it off, and that is the fact that that has any effectiveness is a direct result of Roger Ailes and his indoctrination of a lot of this population, and basically saying, you know, these mainstream media elites, these educated people, don't listen to them, listen to your gut. You know, George W. Bush famously said that he goes from his gut. He doesn't listen to advisors. Oh, God forbid you listen to people that actually know what the fuck that they're talking about. So now we've really come full circle where Roger Ailes has created this monster in Donald Trump, and now he is advising him. And I don't think that you can underestimate Roger Ailes. Maybe we have come to a point in our political discourse where it's the darkest before the dawn. Trump is the Frankenstein that they have created, and now Roger Ailes' messaging is no longer going to be effective. But I worry that perhaps it will be, because now Donald Trump has also taken on a second campaign advisor, an official one. Ailes is not in any official capacity, and his campaign has denied that Ailes is helping him in debate prep. But do not trust anything that the Trump campaign says. And there are 4 separate sources reporting to different media outlets that Ailes is advising him. So he's advising him. Now, officially, Donald Trump has taken on a horrible person to be his chief campaign executive, Steve Bannon, who's the executive chair of Breitbart News, which, if you know anything about Breitbart, it is the online wing of the disgustingness that has derived out of Fox News. So just a little bit about Steve Bannon. He also was a hedge fund manager for a while, or I think it was Goldman Sachs, I believe. And now Paul Manafort, the campaign chairman, is being demoted. They're expanding their campaign. Right, as your poll numbers plummet. That's what you do, you expand your campaign. They're saying that he's not being demoted, but he is. So now Steve Bannon is on. Media Matters put together a list of some of the worst Breitbart headlines, just to give you an idea of the kind of guy that Steve Bannon is, and I want to read some of them to you today. They associate with people like Roger Stone, who is, again, top 5 worst people in America. Some of the headlines that they put out there, this is who Donald Trump, this is the executive chairman of this particular publication that Donald Trump is choosing to run his campaign. So, Bill Kristol, this is the headline, Bill Kristol, Republican spoiler, renegade Jew. Like, no subtlety in this whatsoever in the anti-Semitism. Putting Jew in the headline. Like, is this the 1940s? I mean, it's unbelievable to me. World Health Organization report, trannies 14 times higher HIV rate. It gets my blood boiling. Again, is this the 1940s? Trannies? And then we're fear-mongering about HIV? Again, the association with Ronald Reagan and that kind of messaging is just so clear. Remember when Hillary Clinton said that Nancy Reagan was good in the fight against HIV? What a fucking joke. Sympathy for the devils, the plot against Roger Ailes and America. Basically, yeah, liberals are the devils. There's no hiring bias against women in tech. They just suck at interviews. Yeah, fuck yeah. Men are so great. We're so talented. Here's another great one. Gabby Giffords, the gun control movement's human shield. There's no words for that one. Planned Parenthood's body count under Cecil Richards is up to half a Holocaust. Okay, I don't even really want to go any further. You guys get the picture. The guy that was the executive chair of that publication is now Donald Trump's executive campaign manager. And Roger Ailes is helping him with debate prep. This is the guy that Trump is. To his core, he's despicable. And I thought he may have been faking it for the primaries. I don't even know if he believes any of these headlines. Who knows? Who knows what he really believes? But it seems to be becoming more and more clear that this is what he actually does believe. There's no evidence to the contrary. And what I take away from it is that it's almost unbearably infuriating that Bernie Sanders is not the nominee. Because Bernie Sanders, in contrast to this horrific human being in Donald Trump, could just wipe the floor with him. If you talk to any independent, any person outside of Washington and D.C., they all would have voted for him. Only the core of the Democratic Party, which has turned to the right of independence in this country, loved Hillary Clinton this much. And she is rife with these conflicts and with these corruption scandals and with all of these red flags for a variety of voters. But if Bernie Sanders, who, even if you don't agree with him, even if you're the most diehard conservative out there, they look at that guy and they say, that guy, no, I trust what he's saying. I trust he believes what he's saying. That's what regular voters care about. They don't care about the Machiavellian machinations, I'm going to say that 3 times fast, of an inner workings of a campaign. They say, can I trust that guy? Is that guy going to look out for me? And that's what they thought with Bernie Sanders. And no one in their right mind says that about Hillary Clinton. So now we have I know he's losing in the polls, but we could have swept the election. We could have destroyed this piece of shit, Donald Trump, and the people he associates with. And the election's not over. Yes, he is down in the polls, but we still have until November. And the fact that as the campaign goes along, he continues to surround himself with even worse people and just go into the crevasse, into the darkness, into the hole of horrors, the house of horrors that is Roger Ailes and Steve Bannon, and surrounding himself with those people. And then we have such a problematic nominee in terms of the major two party candidates. It's just angering and depressing. As you can see, I'm just fired up about these people that Donald Trump is associating with. They're evil. They're like evil people. And they have a great chance of running this country because we have a candidate on the other side that just doesn't inspire, at the very least doesn't inspire the American people, and at the most makes them sick.